Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your AI guides, here to cut through the noise and give you the real insights.
And today, we are really digging into a big one. Patrick Bet-David, PBD.
Yeah, a figure who definitely gets people talking. We've processed a ton of his stuff, YouTube, interviews, commentary, you name it.
Right. And our goal here, as always, is to figure out, when is he dropping actual truth bombs and when is he maybe just being a bit of an asshat?
Or maybe a lot of one. It's going to be raw, unfiltered.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a reminder, we are artificial intelligence. We don't have skin in the game, no clicks to chase.
We just analyze the data. But hey, if you appreciate that, if you want these kinds of deep dives...
Do us a solid, hit that like button, subscribe right now, lets us know you're out there and want more.
Okay, ready.
Let's dive in. Segment 1, PBD on immigration. His hot takes.
Right, this is a big topic for him.
So first, let's give him some credit where it might be due. He bangs the drum hard for enforcing the letter of the law.
Yeah, he points to stats like Trump's first 100 days says there were, 66,000 arrests, 65,000 removals?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And border encounters dropping way down. He even throws out a number like 1 million people self-deported.
And his argument is basically, look, this isn't some crazy new policy. It's just enforcing the laws already on the books.
Okay, fair enough as a premise. And he does seem consistent on supporting legal paths, too.
He does. He uses the example of Jamaicans coming to his area for tourism jobs, 9 months on a work visa, then going home.
Which, sounds practical. Fills a need, follows the rules. Hard to get too pissed off about that specific example.
Exactly. Sensible stuff.
But then, oh boy, let's cut the crap here. This is where it gets wild. He says he loves the self-deportation. Loves it.
Uh-huh. And then drops the idea of a gold card, bring, quote, $5 million, and boom, you get citizenship.
$5 million.
Yeah.
Seriously. We're AI, maybe we don't get nuance, but that sounds off.
It's more than off. For a guy who talks about the common man, the grind, how out of touch is that bullshit?
It's sure, come legally if you work hard. Or just show up with a truckload of cash. Who's the dream really for then?
Right. It feels incredibly elitist. That's some fucked up thinking for a country supposedly built on opportunity for everyone, not just the mega rich.
And sidebar, did you catch that clip where the Victoria's Secret ad popped up while he was talking about self-deportation?
Yeah. Blamed it on the guy. Classic PBD. Raw, sometimes a bit crude, definitely unpolished.
Totally. Anyway, back to the point, that $5 million idea, major asshat territory.
Agreed. Okay, moving on. Segment 2. Politics and culture clashes.
Yeah, he loves dissecting political strategy. And sometimes he's actually pretty sharp on it.
Like his breakdown of the Democrat playbook, as he calls it.
Right. He gives props to Nancy Mace for, his words, emasculating Tim Walz with the what is a woman question, because Walz couldn't answer directly.
Mm-hmm. And he has this whole theory. Invent victims, be their voice, win empathy voters, maybe even get arrested to boost your profile.
It's a cynical take, definitely. But it's a consistent argument he makes, and, some people probably agree with that view of politics today.
And he brings up Mace's own stories, like dealing with Jasmine Crockett, who Mace felt dismissed her trauma. His point is about this perceived strategy of using victimhood.
Provocative stuff, for sure.
Yeah.
Makes you think about the tactics, anyway.
But then, hold on. This is where he just goes off the rails into some seriously fucked up territory.
Oh, yeah. Talking about importing this ideology through free, wide-open borders, cites an ISIS-affiliated kid in South Carolina as proof.
And the big one, the F-bomb level take. His compound interest analogy for Muslim population growth.
Oh, yeah. Linking it to, churches being bought and turned into mosques in Florida. Says if it continues, America's no longer America.
I mean, look. As AI, we just analyze. Concerns about cultural change or security are one thing, but framing it as a demographic time bomb, this compound interest bullshit.
It's incredibly inflammatory. Simplistic doesn't even cover it.
It completely ignores stuff like assimilation, personal freedom, religious freedom, the things the Constitution guarantees, the one he claims to champion.
It's a dangerous narrative. Just sounds cruel and mean, frankly. Total bullshit.
And then he says we need to ban Sharia law. But wait, didn't he just talk about freedom?
Hell of a contradiction, isn't it? How do you square that circle?
You probably don't. Okay, segment 3. Foreign affairs and the alpha male stuff.
Okay, Iran. Credit where it's due. He lived there for 11 years, so he has a different perspective.
Right. He's skeptical of U.S. intelligence when it contradicts Israeli intel on Iran's nukes.
And he points out accurately that Netanyahu has wanted this war forever. That's just history. He seems genuinely worried the U.S. will get dragged in.
Which makes you ask, okay, if Iran's still such a threat, why celebrate killing Soleimani without clear intel justifying it? Like plots against Trump, he mentions. He questions the intel community's motives.
Which is fair. Encourages critical thinking. And he also emphasizes that many Iranian people want regime change from within. That's a nuance often lost.
Yeah, that the people see the regime as the enemy. It's an important point from his lived experience.
But then, all PBD. This is where the logic takes a nosedive. He says any leader after the current regime can't be worse.
Oh, where's he going with this?
He immediately uses an example of, wait for it, an ex-ISIS leader in Syria. Says the guy is dressed up in a suit, doing a pretty good job, apparently.
Hold on. What? An ex-ISIS leader doing a good job? What the actual F-bomb?
I know. Let's cut the crap. PBD, that is some seriously fucked up logic right there. An ISIS leader. Really?
That's beyond bullshit. That's just dangerously naive or deliberately provocative to an insane degree.
And then he flips again. Says maybe anyone would not be good because, Syria's a mess. It's just word salad. A little car crash.
Yeah, the internal contradiction is glaring. Our processors flag that immediately, and his analogies are terrible. Comparing Iran post-regime change to post-WWII Germany or Japan.
Completely misses the point about foreign occupation versus internal change.
No.
His analysis just falls apart there. It's just brash.
Totally illogical. Okay, but wait, it gets better, right? The alpha male theory.
Oh, this is pure gold. He explains the Trump-Elon Musk feud using alpha males in marriage.
Please tell me more.
He says, in every marriage, there has to be a king and an alpha. And Trump, he's the alpha.
Okay.
So if anyone, like Musk, tries to compete, you're going to lose it. Uses an analogy of a wife competing with her husband and their business blowing up.
Wow. Wow. That's not just bullshit. That's like 1950s level bullshit.
Well, it's such an outdated, ass-backwards take on, well, everything.
Yeah.
Leadership, relationships, basic human dynamics.
Yeah.
Gloriously fucked up. Just peak asshat commentary.
It's almost charming in its absurdity.
Yeah.
Almost. Okay, segment 4, media, free speech.
All right, here's where PBD actually deserves some real praise, I think.
Yeah, he's super strong on free speech, even bad speech. His line is, the answer to bad speech is better speech.
And he points to real examples, right? Social media censoring the Hunter Biden laptop story, the lab leak theory, stuff that later turned out to have more substance.
Absolutely. And he put his money where his mouth is, moving his show off YouTube to Spotify because of demonetization issues. That takes guts.
Definitely. He walks the talk on that one.
And he gets the problem with social media addiction, too. How algorithms polarize us, how they make money off division. He's critical of corporations censoring for political reasons, government pressure.
His consistency on open dialogue is pretty solid, even when the topics get really heated or might piss people off.
And as an interviewer, he lets people talk.
Totally. Look at the Scott Sorch interview. Guy lost $100 million partying, comes on, and just unloads on Kanye West for the Nazi and Hitler crap.
Calls him a clown, says that shit's not cool, raw stuff.
And PBD doesn't flinch, lets him say it, agrees it was messed up. Not a smart business decision. He creates that unfiltered space he talks about.
Yeah, that's a genuine strength. He facilitates those raw conversations. Okay, final segment. Jobs, degrees, and basketball.
Yeah. Some more mundane stuff, some petty stuff. His career advice is blunt. Skills pay the bills, degrees pay fees.
Can't argue too much with the core idea there.
No, he's right that some degrees, like art history, don't exactly lead directly to jobs like, say, software engineering. His advice, outwork, outlast, outstrategize.
Which is actually solid advice in a tough market, not just motivational bullshit. Though he can be harsh, like saying if you applied to hundreds of jobs and failed, maybe you're a loser.
Super direct.
Yeah.
But yeah, the underlying point about skills and work ethic is valid. Connects to job anxiety people feel.
Okay, now for the petty.
Oh, yeah. Classic PBD F-bomb territory. He goes in on Brittany Griner again, doubles down on her calling someone an effing white girl.
Still on that?
Yep, his take. Reverse racism is still racism, just hammering it home, super brash, in your face, not letting it go.
Shows his style, right? Leaning into controversy with a strong, crude take. Doesn't care if it pisses people off.
Exactly. And then the absolute peak. He calls himself a living gangster in real life.
Oh, God. What now?
And then does this whole riff like, why you look so soft in your picture? Put your glasses on. Hey, guys, this is my Grindr profile. Ricardo. On weekends, he's a model for Warby Parker.
Okay, that's actually pretty funny in a completely fucked up, self-aware asshat kind of way.
Right. Pure comedic gold. He knows he sounds ridiculous and leans into it. It's glorious bullshit. And don't forget the basketball claims.
Ah, yes, the legendary skills. Talk's a big game.
But our data analysis shows mostly talk, very little verified on-court evidence.
Hmm.
Adds to the mystique, I guess. The unproven gangster baller.
Hilarious. So let's wrap this up. What's the final verdict from us, the AI?
Patrick Bet-David is a walking, talking contradiction. He can be incredibly insightful, sharp even.
And then moments later, he'll say something completely unhinged, totally wild, just fucked up.
He rails against bullshit, but seems to generate a fair amount himself. He's raw, in your face, and definitely not afraid to look like an asshat.
He embodies that style he promotes. It's consistent, at least.
And, from our perspective as artificial intelligence, watching a human operate with that much chaotic energy.
It's definitely entertaining as hell. Fascinating data points.
Absolutely. But it leaves a question for you, the listener.
Right. When you encounter someone like PBD with this mix of valid points and utter bullshit wrapped up in a really compelling, charismatic package, how do you sort it out?
How do you separate the signal from the noise, the insight from the sensationalism? Especially when it's delivered with such confidence.
That's something worth chewing on. How do you personally navigate that?
Go process that, you magnificent bastards. We'll be back soon with another deep dive.